Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta
Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Dara Srivasadi
Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Shri Advaita
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Rama.
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare,
Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitai Gaura Hari Bo.
Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bo, Hari Bo,
Gaura Haribo,
Hari Bo, Nitai Gaura Hari Bo.
Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bo, Hari Bo,
Gaura Haribo,
Hari Bo, Nitai Gaura Hari Bo.
Jaya Jaya Guru Dev, Guru Dev, Guru Dev, Jaya Guru Dev.
Jaya Jaya Guru Dev, Guru Dev, Guru Dev.
Jaya Jaya Guru Dev, Guru Dev, Guru Dev, Jaya Guru Dev.
Jaya Jaya Guru Dev, Guru Dev, Guru Dev, Jaya Guru Dev. Jaya Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, Srila Acharya Dev ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Giri Govardhana ki Jai.
Jai,
Jai Premji Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai,
Samaveda Bhaktivinoda ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai all Premanandi, all glories
Hari
to
Hari
the
Hari.
Tamil devotees, all glories
Hare
to all the
Krishna.
worldwide devotees, all
Hare Krishna.
Premanandi, Hari Hari
Hari
Hari
Hari Hari
Bol.
Hero, Yogi Sripad, Raman Sripad Yogi Sri,
Jai Santa
Bhakti
Maharaj,
Maharaj,
Rasaraj Prabhu,
Jai,
Mani
Jai.
Maharaj,
Jai,
Akanda Priya Devi, Vyoma Devi, Teresa, Bhakti
Jai.
Teresa, and Bhakti Acharya Prabhu ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai, Jai.
Who did I miss? Anyone? Shakeshwara Prabhu. Okay, page 38, huh?
Yes.
Oh. Someone else came? Ajay Prabhu, Haribol. Hare Krishna, Jai. We haven't seen you in a while. Everything okay?
Yeah, Maya
Yeah.
is pulling here and there, probably.
Amaya is doing that all.
Yeah.
How are the children? Everybody's okay?
Yeah, everything good, Prabhuji.
Okay, good. As long as you came back, that's all. Very nice. All right, page 38. Vande Hum
Ram
Shri
Shri
Guru
Guru
Yuta
Kamalam
Kamalam
Shri Guru Vaisnavam
Vaishnava
Sri Rupa
Rupam
Sagrajat
Sagrajatam
Sahagana Raghunathan
Sahagana Raghunathan Tam
Shri
Jivam
Advaitam
Advaitam
Sadvadutam
Savadutam
Parijana
Parijana
Sahitam
Sahitam
Krishna Chaitanya
Chaitanya Devam
Shri
Sri
Radha
Radha
Krishna
Krishna
Pada
Pada
Sakana
Sagana Lalita Sri
Vishakam
Vishakam Cha
Om
Om
Agana
Jnana Tirandasya
Jana Salakaya
Salakaya
Chakshurun Mikam
Militam Jena
Tasmai Shri
Tasmai Gurave Namaha
Shri Guru Varga
Gurvarga Bandita
Bhava
Mahavasistaya
Purva
Sada
Parya Param
Parya Parambara
Chaita
Srila
Pragya
Bhakta
Pampurvate
Kirte
Bhaktir Nirmala
Nirmala Sadaram Sadaram
Vande Shri Guru
Vande
Dev
Devangana
Yoshira Acharya
Acharya
Param
Paramyam
Purva Vista
Purvavista Surakam
Samukanaya
Nairasisha
Ashisha
Bhushitam
Shintya
Nitya Chintam
Vedanta
Samastita Vedani Punam
Nirupa
Nirupa
Patanam
Patanam
Govinda
Govindam
Vidam
Vidam Jalam
Varatanam
Ratanam
Bhakti
Bhaktyamritam Sundaram
Vande
Vishwam
Vishwakam
Cha Divya
Bhagavad
Bhagavad Gita
Devam
Devam
Divyata
Divyatasam Suchandavadanam
Alakanchitam
Aladkanchana
Chandrananda Puram
Chandrananda Puram
Sadekavaranam
Sadekavaranam
Vairagya Vidya
Vairagya Vidya Buddhim
Sri Siddhanta Nidhi
Siddhanidhim Subhatila Sitam
Saraswatanam
Saraswatanidam Varam
Vande Tam Suparam
Vanditam
Madeka
Suparamade
Sharanam
Saranam
Yashishwaram Shri
Ishwaram Sridharam
Shri
Sri
Siddhanta
Siddhanta
Saraswati
Saraswati
Vidito Gaudiya
Gaudiya Gavan
Gauranga
Bhaje
Bhatto
Bhato
Manavita
Manavira
Bhavakadagane
Bhavate Gagani
Yogura
Gora
Sankirtane
Sankirtane
Maya Bharati
Mayavara
Mingalogra
Timingalodaram
Jan
Gadhanam
Jivan
Jivanimam
Krishna Prema
Prema
Sagarati
Nidanam
Radha
Radhavanambaye
Namo
Om
Gauranga
Gaurangeshwaraya
Bhaktavatu
Bhaktavadutaye
Gaurangri
Gaurangri
Bhattacharya
Bhattacharya
Radha Baba Vande Bhakti Vinodam
Vinodam Shri Gaura
Gaurashri
Shakti
Rupakam
Rupakam
Bhakti Shashragya Samprayam
Satyam
Radha Rasa
Rasa
Sandati
Saranidhi
Gauravaja
Gaura Brayasti
Shikha
Shesai
Vaishnava
Vaishnavaya
Vanyavigraham
Parigraham
Jagannatha
Jagannatha
Vande
Vande
Prema
Vaisnavam
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha
Kripa Sindhu
Kripa Sindhubevacha
Patitanam
Patitanam
Pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo Namo
Panchatatvatmakam
Panchatattvamakam
Krishnam
Krishnam
Bhaktarupam
Bhaktarupam
Bhaktavatar
Bhaktavataranyam
Namami Bhakta
Namami Bhakta
Shantikam
Shantikam
Namo
Namo
Mahabaradaya
Mahabaradaya
Krishna
Krishna
Prema
Prema
Pradaya
Pradayate
Krishnaya
Krishna
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 Chaitanya
Chaitanya
Namne
Gaura
Gaura
Vishte Namaha
Jayatam
Jayatam
Surato
Surato Ango
Mama Manda
Manda Matyati
Matsarva
Matsarvasva
Svapadam
Padabhujau Radhamadana Madhavu
Divyad Vrindaranya Kapadurvada
Kapadrumada
Madranagara Sar Srikandarva
Srikandarva Sila Govinda Deva Krishnadevi Satyamani Smarami
Sriman
Sriman
Rasa
Rasarasaram
Bhaksidata
Bhaksidata
Tatita
Tatita
Karsan
Karsan
Venu
Venu
Sudarani
Sudarani Gopi
Gopinata
Gopinata
Shri
Sriyastunaha
Vrindayai Tulasi
Jai Tulasi Jai
Yayai
Krishna Bhakti Sacha
Krishna Bhakti
Krishna Bhakti Pradevi
Pradipati
Satyai Namo
Ottanatva
Mantra
Mantagun
Mantra Gurum
Bhagavatar
Guru Bhagavatar Tadam
Yasan Jagat
Yasam Jagat Guru Natva
Tato
Tato
Jayant
Jaya Mudire
Jai Saparika Shri Shri Guru Garanga
Saparikara Sisi Guru Gauranga Gandharva Vinda Sundara Alpamananjayastu
Sri Krishna Chaitanya
Krishna Chaitanya
Prabhu
Prabhu
Nityananda
Nityananda
Sri
Sri
Advaita
Advaita
Gadadhara
Gadadhara
Vasari
Vasari
Gaur
Gaura
Bhakta
Bhaktavinda
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
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 Rama
Rama Hare Rama
Rama
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hari Hari.
Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, Srila Acharya Dev ki jai. Jai Giri
Jai.
Gopran ki jai. Jai Gopal
Jai
Bhaktivinoda
Jai.
ki jai.
Jai
Jai. Who's that? Ravi Kant.
This is Ravindra Krishna Prabhu from Siwan.
From where?
From Siwan, Bihar. Actually,
Sivan, okay.
we
Hare
first
Krishna.
time went to this scientific preaching Maharaj you sent us to schools, colleges. In Pune, we met him, I think around 2008-9. And then we take an initiation coming to Acharya Maharaj. And I think very recently we visited his place 2 months back.
Oh, very nice.
He's a computer science, I
Computer
think
science man.
he's doing Ph.D.
Does he have the Prabhanaji Vinamrita? I'm not, sorry. Does he have the Kirtan guide?
I think Krishna Kesha Prabhu sent the link. You got it, Ravindra Krishna Prabhu? The link for Kirtan guide?
He's muted. Muted. You're muted. Mic is muted. Raghunath Prabhu. Radha, what's your name?
Ravindra Krishna.
Ravindra Krishna. Do you have your do you have the Kirtan guide? The book?
I sent it again in the messages. See the messages, Prabhuji. You'll find it.
In the messages, you'll find a link for the Kirtan guide. We're reading from that or singing Kirtans from that. Some bhajans are there. You find it? A little confusing.
Yeah. Can you hear Ravindra Krishna Prabhu? Hare Krishna?
Yes. Yes, Maharaji.
Okay. So we're on page 16. We're going to sing Yasamati Nandan bhajan. Oh. Oma Devi,
Yes, Maharaj. Dandavat Pranam, Maharaj.
would you like to sing Yasamati Nandan?
Yes, Maharaj.
Oh, thank
Yes,
you.
Maharaj. Okay. Can you hear me, Maharaj?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yasomati Rajavara Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana
Yasomati Nandana Rajaparanagara Gokula
ಗೋಪಿ ಪರಣದನ ಮದನ ಮನೋಹರ ಕಾಳಿಯ ದಮನ ವಿಧಾನ
Gopi
Paranadana Madana Manohara Kaliya Damana
आमल हरि नाम अमिय विलास विपिन पुरंदर नवीनगर वरम शिवदन सुवास
Amala Harina Nami
Nami
Vilasa Vipina Purandara Navinanagara Vanshivadana Shivasa
रज जन पालना हसुर कुल नासना नंद गोदन रकुयाला
Avrajana Duranasana Nanda
गोविंद माधव नवनीत तस्कर सुंदर नंद गोपाला
Govinda
यमुना तटचरा गोपी वसन हर रस रसिक कृपमाया श्री राधा वल्लभ वृंदवन नटवर भक्ति विनोद हस्त्राय
Shri Radha Bhakti Vinoda
यशोमती नंदना व्रजवर नार गोकुल रंजन काना
Yasamati Nagara Gokula Ranjanagana
गोपी
Gopi
जय गुरुदेव।
There's a time delay, a slow connection, I think.
Yes, he has some slow connection, Maharaj.
All right, thank you very much. Hare Krishna. And page 45. Anupriya,
Dandavats, Maharaj.
would you like to sing Samsara-dhamma?
Yes, Maharaj. Can you hear me okay? I don't have my
Oh,
headset.
yes.
It's
Yes,
fine?
we can hear you. We can hear you fine.
Good, good. Very good. Samsara davana lalita loka tarana karuna krana kranatvam
Samsara
Prapatya kalyana kurana vasya vande guroshi charana vrindam
Vande
Mahaprabho Kirtana Nitya Gita Paditramadyan Manashura Shena Romanchaka Taranga Bhato Roshi Charanara Vrindam Shri Vikrahata Tana Nityanana Shingaratan Mandira Majanatu Yuktasya Bhaktam Shani Yunjatopi Vande Guru Shri Vrindam Bhakti Shri Bhagavat Prasada Sadvana Triptan Hari Bhakta Sangyahan Kritvaiva Triptim Bhajata Sathaiva Vande Guru Shri Charanara Vrindam Shirapika Madhava Para Madhurya Lila Gunarupanam Pratikshana Swadana Lolu Pande Guru Shri Charana Noro la sita ya la tira pechania Patratirakshya dati valapasya vande guru shri charanara vrindam Sakshataret vena samasta shastai yuktashtata pavyata eva sapti
Samari Kwena Samari
Hindu Prabhaya Priya Eva Tasya Vande Guru Shri Charanara Vrinda
Vande Guru Shri Charana.
Yasya Prasadat Bhagavat Prasado Yasya Prasada Nagoti Kotapi
Yes,
Yasya Prasada
Ayam Stavam Stasya Yasya Trisangyam Vande Guru Shri Charanara Vrindam
Jaya Sasri Sandhya Vande Guru
Srimad Guru Rante Kamitaro Jai Rami Mahurti Patati Prayatna Yastena Vrindavana Nata Sakshat Tadvaiva Labhyo Jana Sunata Iva
Yastena
Vrindavana
Sevai Valadhya
Vande Guru Shri Charanara Vrindam
Vande
Guru Sri Charanara Vrindam
Gurute 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 Jaya Jaya Gurute
Jaya Jaya
Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
And let's see, page 65. 65. Nitai. Oh. Muni Maharaj, would you like to sing? Muni Maharaj, I think you're muted. Dandavat.
Yes, I'm singing. Nitai Pado Kamala Koti Chandra Sushitala
Nitai Chandra Sushitala
যে ছায়ায় জগত জুড়ায় হেন নিতাই বিনে ভাই রাধা কৃষ্ণ পাইতে নাই দৃঢ় করি ধর নিতাই পাই সে সম্বন্ধ নাহি যার বৃথা জন্ম গেল তার
সে সম্বন্ধ
সেই পশু বড় দুরাচার
সেই
নিতাই না বলিল মুখে, মজিল সংসার সুখে।
নিতাই না বলিল
নিতাই না বলিল মুখে,
মজিল
সংসার সুখে।
বিদ্যাকুলে কি করিবে তার,
বিদ্যাকুলে কি করিবে তার?
অহংকারে মত্ত হইয়া নিতাই পদ ভাসরিয়া।
অহংকারে মাতা
নিতাই
নিতাই পাদ
পদ
ধরিয়া।
অসত্যরে সত্য করি মানি,
অসত্যে সত্য করি
নিতাইর করুণা হবে, ব্রজে রাধা কৃষ্ণ পাবে।
নিতাই
রাধে কৃষ্ণ কবে।
ধরো নিতাইর চরণ দুখানি,
ধরো
নিতাইর চরণ সত্য, তাহার সেবক নিত্য। নিতাই পদ সদা করো আস, নরোত্তম বড় দুঃখী, নিতাই মোরে করো সুখী। রাখো রঙ্গা চরণের পাশ, দয়াল নিতাই দয়াল নিতাই, দয়াল নিতাই দয়াল নিতাই।
দয়াল
দয়াল নিতাই দয়াল নিতাই, দয়াল নিতাই দয়াল
Nitai ki jai. And Ajay Prabhu, can you read the English?
Yeah, sure. Hare Krishna. You can hear me, Prabhuji, right?
Huh? Okay.
You can hear me, right?
Yes, we can hear you. Very nice.
Okay. Cooling like 10 million moons, Nittai's lotus feet soothe the world with their shade. Oh brother, without Nittai, you cannot reach Radha Krishna. Firmly grasp his feet. The life of one who had no connection with Nittai's passed in vain. Such an animal is very wicked. What will learning do for one who was immersed in worldly pleasures and never called allowed Nitai? Maddened with pride, forgetting Nitai's feet, I accept untruth as truth. When Nitai bestows his mercy, you will reach Radha Krishna in Raja. Grasp Nitai's feet. Nitai's feet are truth, and his servants are eternal. Always aspire for Nitai's feet. Narottam is very sad. Oh Nitai, make me happy. Keep me beside your reddish feet. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. And let's see, page 105. Page 105. Shanta Maharaj,
Yes, Maharaj.
would you like to sing Amara Jivana?
Okay, Maharaj.
Thank you.
আমার জীবন সদা পাপেরত নাহি ক পুণ্যের লেশ
আমার জীবন সাধা নাহি পুণ্যের
পরের উদ্বেগ দিয়াছি যে কত দিয়াছি জীবের ক্লেশ নিজ সুখ লাগি পাপে নাহি ডরি দয়াহীন স্বার্থপর
নিজ
পর সুখে দুঃখী সদা মিথ্যাভাসী পর দুঃখ সুখ কর অশেষ কামনা হৃদি মাঝে মোর ক্রোধিদম্ভ পরায়ণ
আশেষ কামনা মোরা
মদ মত সদা বিষয়ে মোহিত হিংসা গর্ভ বিভূষণ নির্দালস্য হত সুকার্যে বিরত অকার্যে উদ্যোগী আমি প্রতিষ্ঠা লাগিয়া ছঠ আচরণ লোভহট সদা কামী এহেন দুর্জন সজ্জন বর্জিত অপরাধী নিরন্তর শুভ কার্য শূন্য সদা নর্থ মন নানা দুঃখে জর জর
শুভ
বার্ধক্যে খন্ন উপায় বিহীন তাতে দিন কিঞ্চন ভকতি বিনোদ প্রভুর চরণে করে দুঃখ নিবেদন আমার জীবন সদা পাপেরত নাহি ক পুণ্যের লেশ
আমার জীবন সদা পাপেরত নাহি ক পুণ্যের লেশ
পরের উদ্বেগ দিয়াছি যে কত দিয়াছি জীবের ক্লেশ
And then Teres, would you like to read the English? we get frozen?
I think her side connection is not good.
Huh?
I think her connection is not so good.
Nothing happened.
Now she is there.
Okay, I'm back. I don't know what happened. My life is always engrossed in sin. There is not a trace of piety within it. I have caused others so much anxiety and trouble. I am never afraid to engage in sinful activities for the sake of my own happiness. Lost it. Okay. I am merciless and selfish. I am a perpetual liar. I am saddened by the happiness of others and pleased by the sadness of others. There are unlimited sinful desires within the core of my heart. I am angry and arrogant, always maddened with vanity, infatuated with mundanity, and ornamented with malice and pride. I am subdued by laziness and sleep, averse to performing good deeds, and eager to perform sinful deeds. I engage in deceitful behavior in pursuit of prestige. I am ruined by greed and constantly covetous. Such a sinner as I is shunned by devotees and a constant offender. I am devoid of virtuous motives, always intent upon evil and racked by various miseries. Now aged, I am devoid of any means of deliverance and thus destitute and distressed. Bhakti Vinod submits this remorseful confession at the Lord's feet.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And page 165. Would you like to sing, Krishna Kesava?
Dandavad to everyone.
Dandavad.
Hari Haraye Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Hari Haraye Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Gopala Govinda Ram Sri Madhusudan.
Gopala Govinda Ram Sri Madhusudan.
Girihari Gopinath Madana Mohan.
Giridhari
Gopinath Madana Mohana.
Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra.
Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra.
Gadadhara Srivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Gadadhara Srivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Rupa Sanatan Bhata Raghunath.
Jaya Rupa Sanatana Bhata Raghunatha.
Shri Jiva Gopala Bhata Dasa Raghunath.
Jiva Gopala Bhata Dasa Raghunatha.
Hechaya Goshanikari Charana Vandan.
Jaya Gosanikari Charana Vandana.
Yaha Hoite Vigna Nasa Abhishta Puran. Hechaya Goshani Hara Muitara Das. Tasa Bhara Pada Renu Mora Panchagras. Tandera charana sevi bhakta sanevas.
Tandera
Janame mora ehabilas.
Janame Morai Abhilasa.
Ichaya goshani yabe vraje kailavas.
Echaya Gosani Jabe Vraje Kailavasa.
Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Karila Prakash.
Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakasa.
Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan.
Anande Bolo Hari Bhaje Vrindavana.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Pare Majayi Mana.
Sri Guru Vaishnava Padmajaya Mana.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Pada Padmakari As.
Sri Guru Vaishnava Pada Padmakari Asa.
Hari Nama Sankirtana Kahe Narotama Das.
Hari Nam
Sankirtana Kahe Narotama.
Hari Haraye Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Hari Hari Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare Hare.
Nitagora Haribo, 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 Nitai Gora Haribo.
Nitai Gaura Haribol, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribol.
Nitai Gora Haribo. Haribo. Haribo, Nitai Gora Haribo.
Nitai Gaura Haribol, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribol.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Gurudev. Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Gurudev. Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Jai Sripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj Ki Jai. Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Nirmala Charya Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Bhakti Vrinda Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Haribo.
Jai. Jai Krishna Kesava Prabhu ki jai.
Jai Krishna.
Jai.
Jai Krishna Kesava Prabhu.
Jai.
All right. Let's see. Oh, a couple of people disappeared. Teres and Ravindra, huh? Ravindra Krishna. All right. Any questions anyone has? Before we go.
Maharaj.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Ajay Prabhu, Haribo.
Maharaj, I think Krishna says to, like, in that verse, Bhagavad Gita verse, give up all religion and take up my shelter.
Yes.
But in that he mentions Vraj. Mam ekam sharanam Vraj.
Yes.
So can you please explain more about why Krishna mentions Vraj?
Raj, well, that's the highest surrender. Huh? Complete surrender. Raja is found in Raja means Vrindavan, or it can mean Vrindavan. It also has other meanings. But Sridhar like to think of it as Vrindavan. And that there, Raja, Vrindavan is the plane of Atmanivedanam. Atmanivedanam means total surrender. So Krishna says, Mam ekam sharanam. Ekam. And this ekam means only. That means no other shelter. Ekam. Only to me means there is no other shelter that totally surrendered devotee has. Ekam. And that's Vrindavan. That's Rajanam. When there's no mixture of any mundane support. Totally without any mundane support whatsoever. All mundane support has been nullified. And one takes total shelter, one takes total support from Krishna. Doesn't leave anything else left for the imagination. Mam ekam sharanam. Atma Nivedanam, whole self given over. Atma Nivedanam, body, mind, soul, everything, words, actions. Braja. Braja is the land of love. The land of love. Who has complete love? Completed his love. You can't have love for anything so completely as you can for Krishna. All other loves will be, what do you want to say? Love will be not so complete. They'll find some incompleteness in all other kind of love, except for love of God. When we think of Spinoza, bring in some philosophy. He said, Spinoza said, there's only God. A very nice idea, he said. There's only God. Only God. When you can understand that, there's no other being but God, the being of God. Hegel explained it very nicely also. He said sometimes we call God the supreme being. But that doesn't mean some people mistaken that to think that one mountain is bigger than another mountain. And so that mountain, that's the highest, we call it the supreme mountain. He said, no, that's not what the supreme being means. Supreme being means there's no other being but God. There's no other being. Only one being. Being is one. We may, just like you say, in a mundane example, we can say tree means all trees. All trees are tree. The idea of tree is there in all trees. But that tree is one thing. The other trees may be there. But they're getting their idea of tree from the idea of tree itself. The general idea of tree and the individual idea of tree is coming from the general idea. In the same way, God is there. He is the supreme person. Supreme person doesn't mean he's the highest person, but he is the personality of personality. When all persons have their person, they are only taking that from the supreme person. They are instant. You can say they're instants, parts. What do you want to say? Instantation. They call it instantiations or particularities of person. They're not persons of their own. Just like a tree is not a tree on its own. It's a tree because it takes part in the idea of other trees, of tree itself. You understand? Tree is a universal idea, and all trees can participate in that idea. They get their treeness from the universal tree. Similarly, Supreme Person is that person who is the ideal, the universal, from which all other persons get their personalities. Otherwise, without that, they would not be anything. Something like that. If you take away a dog, it's called an animal. But if you take away the animality of a dog, what do you have left? What is there? What do you call it? The animal is not a property of dogs. It's the essence of it. Animal, not a property of a particular animal. It's the essence of it. Understand? So there's a difference between essence and properties. So we're essence persons. But that essence doesn't belong to me as just a property of mine. It has a deeper connection. So because God is like that, he is the essence of all things. We can say he's even more than essence, but if we take even essence, then we can understand that without that essence, nothing is there. So we may love so many persons, but the essence of all persons is there, and that is real. And then when we find that, then we understand what is real relationship, what is real love. Very high conceptions. Very high conceptions. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
To understand these things is difficult. Do you have any Do you really understand something?
One thing, the essence of all is Krishna, right? That I understood from you.
Uh,
Yeah. Raj means Vrindavan. Krishna is
uh,
referring to Vrindavan. Uh,
yes.
and Vrindavan is the land of love.
Uh,
And yeah,
everything is there, right? In Vrindavan, everything is there.
everything is there. Yeah.
There's trees, there are rivers, there are cows, there's cowherd boys, the gopis, Radha and Krishna, even Mahaprabhu, everything is there.
Mm,
Separation and love.
mm,
So to enter that world with full, you can engage yourself fully there. It has full engagement for us there. Nothing can be left outside of that.
Sanatana Goswami said that there are demons in Braj.
We won't get into that. Praj. The idea of total surrender is there. Madhava, even Parakia. Any other questions?
Maharaj,
Yes.
I was reading from Sri Chaitanya Mangala, also from Chaitanya Charitamrita, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to take sannyas, the devotees were very sad. And also Sachi was feeling very depressed, and they said that they should not do that, they take the sannyas and all that. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu talking to her about this material world is false, that everything is like a show, that actually that is not real, the only reality is Krishna. And then give us different example on different things. And then Sachi Mata say, I understand all that, but still you are my son. So even after all this trying to tell his mother that all this word is false, that all this connection with father, son, wife, all this false, still at the end he says, yeah, but still you are my son. So actually I see that the love and devotion for Krishna is superior to all this, actually this knowledge that the material world is false. So, and also Vishnupriya did the same thing and was talking to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the same thing. I say at the end, he said, no, you're my husband. And that knowledge that the material world is false is still like a lower conception to the connection, the love and affection with Krishna. And that is something amazing, no? That when we see that love and affection is superior to anything else, to even the use of reason and knowledge.
That is called aprakrita. Aprakrita? You know aprakrita?
Yeah, I hear the term aprakrita.
Huh?
Yes, I hear that.
Aprakrita. Aprakrita means it looks like prakrita, but is not prakrita. That is a higher plane. Gyan Shunya Bhakti. Bhakti devoid of all kinds of knowledge of the Supreme. Aprakrita. And it's just like ordinary dealings. See the infinite in the finite. The infinite in the finite. Vaikuntha is seeing the finite in the infinite. But Vrindavan is seeing the infinite in the finite. Krishna is a supreme person, but Yasoda doesn't like to see when Krishna opened his mouth, whole universe was there. But she didn't like to see that he is the supreme person like that. He didn't want to see him as her son. Huh? He didn't want to see the infinite in the finite. She wanted to see the finite in the infinite. Understand? Krishna is not, the world is not in Krishna. Krishna is in the world, in the universe. It's called the Prakrita. That's also called Yoga Maya. You know Yoga Maya? Yoga Maya? There's Mahamaya and Yoga Maya. In Mahamaya, Krishna is not seen. Huh? Only finite things are seen. But in Yoga Maya, the infinite is seen in the finite. Infinite is not seen, it's covered over by the finite. How is it possible? Apparently, finite covers the infinite. That's Yoga Maya. They know Krishna, but they see also the forms of him as an ordinary person, an ordinary little boy, their lover, their friend. So who can understand those things? And not for the understanding. Those are not for the understanding. These are the devotional principles. The rasa. Akila rasamita murti. The Bhagavatam explains this, that, what is that? That the whole creation is coming from Krishna. What is that? Tato Brahma Jigyasa. Yeyatamam. What is that verse? Santa Maharaj, you there? Huh? And Brahma Samhita explains that the source of everything, we must search for the source of everything. No, the second verse after that. Janmadasya yata. The second verse of Brahma Samhita, Janmadasya yata. Everything is coming from him. Vedanta Sutra, what did I say? Oh, Brahma Sutra or Vedanta Sutra says, Janmadasya yata. Janmadasya means everything is coming from him. The whole of creation is coming from him. That is the Brahma, the Vedanta says. But Bhagavatam says, Rasa Vaisaha. The highest thing is rasa, is taste. We are attracted not by the idea of everything, but by the taste. Our hearts will be automatically attracted in that direction toward the tasteful things, the satisfying things, not ultimately the rational things. And we see that so many times in this world also. Of course, here we're all crazy. There's no conception of Krishna at all. But here you try to talk to these people, the scientists and so many other people. You think they're rational, but they're not. If you try to use reason, they can't follow. They have their own intent. The thing that they relish, that's what they stick with, what they are relishing. They won't listen to any reason. How many evils this current head of the U.S. has done, but still they want him. They like him. Although very undesirable things, still they like. Rationally, it seems very unfair what he is doing, but still they like to keep him, like to praise him. or the scientists. Their ideas are so unreasonable, actually, if we think about them. Yet still we have to argue with them that no, it's not right. And that doesn't work. They maintain their ideas. So very frustrating if you try to deal with things rationally. Because people are not, basically. Although that is the criterion Aristotle told, that the distinguishing feature of man from the animals is that he is rational. But we see that is not always the case, not always the highest thing. Something else is there also. That ananda, that tastefulness is driving people above knowledge. So, aprakrita, Gyan Shunya Bhakti, these are the terms that are used to explain that, or Yogamaya. Yogamaya means it's not only the truth that's important. Yogamaya. Maya means there's some distortion of the truth, not the highest controlling factor. Something else. Is it clear?
Yes.
Huh? Any other?
Why do they say that Radharani is the personification of Yogamaya and Durga is the personification of Mahamaya?
He's asking. Did you hear? Could they hear?
Yes, I did.
Why is Radharani the personification of Yogamaya and Durga the personification of Mahamaya? So Yogamaya means that devotion is higher than anything. Yogamaya, that is the love overcomes all knowledge, is superior to knowledge. So we also accept Radharani as the supreme personality in the sense that she can control Krishna. They can control Krishna. So she has the upper hand. So Yogamaya, that has the upper hand beyond the samvit potency, the truth of things. She is controlling the life there. There they have like an ordinary life, a prakrita, but it's a prakrita. Prakrita. They see, instead of seeing Krishna as supreme personality, they see him, the supreme person, as their friend, as their lover, as someone they can fight with and even defeat when they're in wrestling and so forth. That's coming from the higher devotional principle, the loving principle, which is represented by Radharani. Of course, there's also Balaram. He has some influence with the lower rasas, the parental and the friendly rasas. And Radharani is generally associated with the higher Madhava. But still, that idea, that principle is there, that Mahamaya, or that which makes the Supreme Person seem like an ordinary person, as there. Now, Mahamaya is the opposite. There they don't see Krishna, they see only the finite things. And they are, that is the untruth things, because like we said, Krishna is the ultimate being, not only ultimate being, but he's the definition of being. All beings get their being from him. So when we don't see that, when we see everything in non-Krishna, that's called Mahamaya. There, the illusion is based upon a false conception of what is real. Not that the world is unreal. That's a real illusion. When you sleep and you're dreaming, that's a real experience. So the illusion of this world is also a real experience. But it is based upon a mistake, based upon a misunderstanding of what is what. Taking Maya. Ya is Krishna, and Ma means na. We see everything is not Krishna in the material world. That's Maya. But the truth is that everything is Krishna. Vasudeva Sarvamati says in the Bhagavad Gita. You know that verse, Ajay Prabhu? Vasudeva Sarvamati.
I think I heard, Prabhuji.
How does that verse go?
Mm.
Ye yatamam prapadyante. No. 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 Janmanam. How does that go? Vasudeva Sarvamati Samhatma Sadurabha. After millions of births. I can't remember the Sanskrit.
Yeah, only one person. Only thousands. A few people. Yeah. Few people.
But how does that start? No. So hard for me to remember nowadays. Anyhow, no, not coming.
Yeah. Bahunam Janma.
That's the one. Bahunam Janmanam Mante.
Gnanavan Mam
Prapadyante.
Prapadyate.
Vasudeva Sarvamiti. That verse. After many, many births. Bahunam Janmanam Ante. Means after many, many births. Jnanavam Mam Prapadyante. One becomes wise. Enough. To know. To surrender to me because he knows that I am everything. Vasudeva Sarvamati means I am everything.
Yes.
Samahatma Sadhu. That's our soul. Such a great soul. It's very rare. Who can understand that? That there is only one person, one being. That's Krishna. And all our parts and parcels are manifestations coming from him. And without that, then there's nothing. There's no understanding of things, proper understanding. You're seeing everything as separate from that. That is called Mahamaya. Truth is given there. And the Gita. And the Gita is also explained. Krishna explains it very clearly. But many even read that and they don't understand what it means.
Yeah.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare.
Anything else?
Yeah. Oh, Maharaj, I would like to share regarding the same thing. Can I share, Maharaj?
What's this?
I would like to add add some more what you
Okay.
shared. I think Bhakta Prahalad, devotee, he also sees Krishna everywhere. Right?
Yes.
Even in a pillar, we think a pillar is ordinary pillar, but he sees Krishna in that also.
Yes. Yes. Bhakti Siddhanta once said that if you don't see Vrindavan everywhere, then you're going to fall down.
Mm-hmm. So true. Yeah.
And Navadvip, when we went to see Sridhar Maharaj, he told, this is Vrindavan. He told like that. This is your home. He was saying like that. There was no room for Maya there. So Bhakti-Siddhanta told that also. Unless you can see your home as Vrindavan, then everything will come to take you away from Krishna. So that conversion, complete conversion of the heart has to take place. Then you won't be carried away by anything. So that's Krishna consciousness. These things have to be carefully considered and understood. Otherwise, it'll be bogus. All be bogus. Well, when we carefully understand, and that knowledge, that perfect knowledge comes, an understanding of what is what, by Krishna's grace. The Dami Buddhi Yogam Tam, Krishna says. When it's coming from Krishna, that knowledge will come to us, and then we'll be able to come to Krishna and enter the Raja, the land of Vrindavan. The Dami Buddhi Yogam Tam Yena Mam Upayanti Te. Sridhar's famous commentary on that sloka, that Upayanti, he told Prabhupada, our Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada, that this Upayanti means Upapati. Upapati, Parakiras. And Prabhupada said, it cannot but be that. If you read the purports, Sridhar Maharaj in that verse, you'll understand what he was telling, according to the the development of the Gita to that point. He explained that meaning, that deeper meaning. According to the intensity of our own surrender, our own desire to enter into that understanding, into that world, then these things will, by the grace of Krishna, make some sense to us, and we'll be able to make progress in that dimension. The plane of Raja. Haribol. Okay. Anything else? You have been away, but you have been thinking about these things. All right. Page 26 in the Prapannajivanamrita. At the bottom. Tar upekshitanam tukha pratikara kara kanika eva balasyaneha shravanam pitaro nrsimha nartasya chagadam odanvati majatono taptasya tat prati vidhir ya ihanja shrestas tavad vibo tanubritam tvad upekshatanam. The Bhagavatam 2.9.19. For persons devoid of a relationship with the Supreme Lord, Hari, prevention of suffering cannot but be transitory. O Nrsimha, O Almighty Lord, precautions and remedies are only short-lived when attempted by the suffering embodied souls, are not favored by you. Parents are not the guardians of their children. Medicine is not the cure for disease, and a boat is not the savior of a man drowning in the ocean. Excuse me. What do you think that means?
Everything that we were just talking about. Krishna is the being and everything.
Can you? Would anyone like to explain what they think it means? Yes?
Alright, I think it means that material things can't save us. You know, we're not. Remedies are short-lived. It's just temporary. So therefore, one without a relationship with the Lord is just suffering. Just in, you know, we think we can. You know, medicines will help us. This will help us. I do this. I do that. It's going to make everything better. But actually, without the love of the Lord, without that connection, actually we're constantly going to be in misery, constantly going to be suffering.
Like a fish. If you take the fish out of the water and give him a nice house to live in, if he gets some cut on his fins, you put a bandage. But the fish is not in the water. Right? So whatever you do to make that fish feel better, he won't be dying and won't be happy. Because it really has to be in the water. So in the same way, our real existence to be connected to Krishna, in relationship with Krishna. Whatever we try to do without attending to that fact, there'll be some band-aid solution. It won't solve the real problem. It won't give us permanent happiness. So solve the problem of eternity first, of immortality. Solve that problem, then all the others become solved. Prabhupada used to say, if you get the $1 million prize, then all your $10 prizes, all your $10 problems will be solved. Your $10, $100 problems will be solved. Once you get the $1 million, then all the other problems will be taken care of. Don't try to solve the $10 problems. All right, page 27. Anashritanam asad avagrahad eva vididarti tavad bayam dravina deha surin nimitam shokas priha paribhavo vipulaschalobaha tavan mamit yasad avagraha arti mulam yavanate nigram abhayam pravanita lokaha. Also from Bhagavatam 396. Oh, you want to read the English? You can talk through your headphone.
Then it won't be heard on the video.
Oh, really?
The various tribulations of the unsurrendered souls are simply due to their obsession with the unreal. O Lord, as long as the people of the world do not take the safe and sound shelter of your lotus feet, They remain full of anxiety about their wealth, their bodies, and their friends, overwhelmed with lamentation, hankering, obsession, and intense greed. They cannot obtain relief from the suffering which is deeply rooted in their imaginary conceptions of I and mine.
You mean when these videos go to YouTube, nobody can hear what the conversation?
If I talk on your headphones, they can. If I talk on my headphone and you mute yours, they will not hear me. Because your audio is the main audio.
I don't understand how this works. Yeah. Anyone like to comment on what that means, this verse? What they think it means?
I can say, Maharaj, that my understanding of this is that, again, the unsurrendered souls are those who are obsessed with the unreal, meaning the illusionary, the material world. They're, they're going to, with that illusion, they're going to be, what's the word? The byproduct of it is, frustration, anger, all the things that come with me, my, and I. The result, fruitive activity, being attached to the fruits of our labors.
Why is it unreal? Upset the unreal.
Temporary. It's just temporary.
I remember last week we were talking.
It's not Krishna.
We were talking last week about this I and mine.
Mm.
I remember, how does that relate to that? If one thinks themselves the center of everything should go according to my wishes.
A sense of duality.
Once everything should go according to my wishes, then there's always going to be some problem for you. This obsession with the unreal, because it's unreal. You're not the center. The world does not go according to our desire. It's unreal to think like that. When you recognize who's in charge, who's everything for. I don't know if you know the devotee. Used to be one devotee from California, no longer with us. His name was Sripad. You heard of him?
No.
Crossroads knows.
Yes.
Sripad. I remember someone wrote about him, and he said the most important thing I learned from Sripad was that he said that this world is not about you. It's not about you. What's going on here is not about you. It's not about you. That was his realization. And he was very much beloved by Govinda Maharaj. At the time of his leaving this world, he went to Navadvip and wanted to stay with Govinda Maharaj. And when he was the last moments on this planet, he wanted to see Govinda Maharaj, like Haridas Thakur wanted to see Mahaprabhu. They wanted to see the face of Govinda Maharaj. And he said like that, it's not about you, about him, about Krishna. He is in charge. He is the source of everything. The whole of existence is for him. Srinivas used to tell by himself and for himself. Like Hegel, he got that from Hegel. Hegel said the absolute is by itself and for itself. It's for himself. For him. And we are also for him. Everything is for him and we are also for him. That is Krishna. Not for us. So you have to give up that self-centered conception. Recognize what is for him. And then this tribulations arising from things not going the way I plan will be eliminated. Hare Krishna. All right. So I think we'll stop here. Anyone else? I don't know what pranam to all. Please stay well, stay safe. Chant Hare Krishna.
Dandavas Maharaj.
Dhanyavad.
Maharaj, Dandavats everybody.
Dandavas.
Dandavat Pranam Maharaj.
Dhanyavad.